Alright, I am 100 hours into Subnautica, so I figure it's about time to do an update video here. When I first started playing this game... Oh, got some more water. When I first started playing this game, I thought it was all about scuba diving on an alien planet, and so I was just swimming around, looking at all the fish, and oh, it's really pretty, and then at nighttime, everything gets bioluminescent, and it's kind of psychedelic, almost Avatar-ish, like the movie Avatar, where at night everything gets bioluminescent, which was a very pretty movie. Dances with Wolves in Space, or alternatively Fern Gully in Space. I'm not sure which came first, Fern Gully or Dances with Wolves. Same thing, though. But the further I've gotten into this game, the more I realize that, no, it's not about swimming around and finding fish. It's not just about swimming around and finding all the fishies and all the coral and building a base and just kind of living. I mean, you can do that. You can just swim around and collect fish and cook it and swim around and collect bladderfish and make filtered water forever. Like, you could do that and just perpetuate until... I'm not sure you actually age in this game, but you would die of old age in real life if you were in this situation. But I've gotten further and further into the game and explored all over and gathered blueprints for all sorts of things. So like I have a coffee machine here. You look like you could use some coffee. Brew me a cup of coffee, which will dehydrate me. Or I think it'll make me hungrier. Coffee completed. So I've got a cup of coffee. Oh no, it doesn't make me hungrier. Gives me 4, and it takes power, I guess, but not a whole lot. And then I found a potato chip machine. This one takes away from H2O, so you get food and minus H2O. And I found a bunch of these things, sample analyzer. They're non-functional, but I picked them up and was carrying them around. I didn't know what to do with them, so I made a floating locker. I had like an ocean of floating lockers around my escape pod because I just didn't know where to go and what to do. And I don't know, I probably had 20 lockers filled with all sorts of stuff. So I had 2 of these sample analyzers and a fluid analyzer, 2 microscopes. There's one there, there's one here. Some sample flasks, again, non-functional hat. You can see I have 2 of those hats, and I actually have another one over here on my bed. Put another one right there. I found a stuffed animal. So yeah, like all sorts of stuff. These carry-alls, which are disappointing. And then, so I started building a base. Not really sure what to do. I mean, I had at one point, 1, 2, 3, 4. At one point I had 4 separate bases. I had one at the mountain and one right at the edge of it's like north and west, and it's right at the edge, right at a cliffside where there's a bunch of giant fungus trees on the east side of the cliff, and then on the west side of the cliff it's underwater. Obviously it's all underwater. On the west side of the cliff it just goes down into like flatlands, and there's a bunch of reapers out there, and I built my base right there because I figured it'd be an interesting place to explore, which it was. Until it wasn't anymore. And then, like, once I had cleared everything there and I had found absolutely everything, I even built the sensor room, and I put in 4 range expander upgrades, so the range was as far as it was going to get, and I found absolutely everything there was to find around there, and then it just got to the point where it was like, why am I even here? And I kept doing that again. I'd build another base and build another base and build another base. And I had 4 bases. The one on the mountain, the one at the edge of the like fungus tree forest thing, like table fungus tree. And then I built one right at the entrance to a tube, like a cave entrance that goes down into an enormous underground, even further underground cavern filled with jelly shrooms, and then these eels with like buck teeth fangs, like snake fangs. Where there were some evidence of other, like a previous ship that had been here. There was evidence of that down there. And I thought, oh, hey, cool, this is unique. It was the only place in the entire game I'd seen that, so I built a base there, and I went down, and it was also right next to a gigantic chunk of the Aurora, so I could explore the wreck, and I could go and explore the jelly shroom cavern there. And eventually I found everything that there was to find there. And so that was my 3rd base. And then my 4th base I built next to this place. I don't even know what to call it. It's like an alien landscape. Like, if this is all alien, right? But at least most of it is recognizable. Like, the coral is recognizable as coral, and the fish are recognizable as fish. Well, there was this section that was like further south and a little bit west from the jelly shroom cavern that was alien is the only way to describe it, and there were a bunch of kelp there that were like white, slightly bioluminescent, and they had, well, I can actually show you, they had there, like this right here, this weird kelp. It's called blood kelp, because these little doohickeys that glow, blood vine, sorry, not kelp, vine, you can actually harvest the blood oil right here and then turn it into benzene. And so I threw up a base there, and I called it Alien Exploration, because I don't have a clue. Like, it's all super wacky stuff down there. Those are my 4 bases, and once I had cleared everything there and found absolutely everything there was to find, as far as I could tell, then I was like, okay, well, that's basically the end of the game. Like, I've done everything there is to do. I've been on the Aurora. I broke into every room I could find on the Aurora and did everything that there was to do there. As far as I know, I've found all the wrecks. I mean, I've zigzagged all across the map until I get to the place where there's a cliff, and it just completely drops off down into nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, that's the map edge. You can't get past the map edge. There are ghost leviathans. These giant, like, transparent hammerhead snake things. They're transparent, like deep sea creatures. That if you swim, and I did test this out, if you just pick a direction and start swimming as fast as you can, well, eventually you'll spawn a couple of ghost leviathans and they'll come and eat you. And then you reappear here. So that's functionally the map edge. I mean, it's not a hard map edge like a wall you're going donk, donk and running into, but it's functionally the map edge. That's what they did. They just made it so that there's dragons here. There be dragons here and you can't get any further. So what I did then, with those 4 bases, and then I had found everything there was to find there. The mountain base, there's a couple of reapers on the other side of the mountain there, and then obviously the rest of the mountain, which is interesting. But apparently, once you find everything there is to find, I guess that's it. I don't know what else there is. So I found this little place here, which is really interesting, and it's got these I forget what these things are called, but what are these things called again? I don't remember. Some kind of a tree. But there's a whole area here where there's all these kind of lantern tree looking things. And so I went ahead and deconstructed all 4 of my bases because I was like, why am I even here? There's no point. I deconstructed all 4 of those and moved everything over here, and I started building a base here because this, as far as I could tell, this was the last place that I had yet to explore. And so I built a base here, and you can see I have thermal energy getting beamed down from thermal vents up there, and I marked it there with a beacon. There's some black smokers up there. Anybody who's into diving, if you've studied oceanography at all, black smokers are some pretty fantastic things. I studied those in grad school, so black smokers are just, it's a type of a hydrothermal vent. And not all of those vents, by the way, are black smokers, only some of them. And then I found, as I explored around here, there's a jelly ray. As I explored around here, I found some more hydrothermal vents down there, and so I beamed up more energy from them. Weirdly, the energy wouldn't go directly to the moon pool here. I had to build another energy beamer in order to do that. And took down all of my other bases, and then here I am. And then eventually I figured, you know what? I'll go ahead and start going around and harvesting things and bringing them over here, so that I could grow basically whatever I need. So I've got the eye stalks and jelly shrooms and the violet bows, ghost weed, blood vine, I forget what that's called, membrane trees. I forget what these things are called also, but to me, they just look like Christmas trees with lights all on them. And then I have some acid mushrooms here and some deep shrooms there. Some of these are decorational, like the green vines there are decorational. The blue fans are decorational. Ornamental, I guess, would be the thing. They're ornamental. And then I'm also growing some gel sacks there. That's a mesmer that I raised in captivity, so it's not aggressive towards me. You can see it's not hypnotizing me. And then I only have one moon pool, so I have my prawn suit there right now, and then my sea moth is parked. But yeah, I've got all this stuff here that's growing, and if I need something from somewhere, I can just come out here and harvest it and go back inside. And I've got my little lighthouse here, so if I'm far away, I can see where it is, that light. If I'm somewhere where I can't follow the laser beam. But yeah, and so here's my base. This is like my workroom, office room, where I collected stuff. And it looks like I got more water and more salt. With a water filtration machine, it gives me purified water and salt. These I thought would be cool, because I was like, okay, well, if it takes up 4 spaces, but it holds 9 spaces of stuff, it'd be cool if you could load it up with stuff and then put it in your inventory, and while it's in your inventory, you can't access those 9 things. You can only access the little 4-space carry-all. That's how I thought it would work. That's not how it works, though. You can only pick it up if it's empty. So I kind of don't know why it's even here in the game. Why not just build a locker? Use 1 titanium, or maybe 2, and build a locker, and it holds a lot more. But, yeah, whatever. The game is the game. I didn't program it. So bulkheads everywhere to increase the structural integrity. Not that it needs it, because I've been waiting through the entire game to be attacked by a Leviathan, like by a Reaper. I figured a Reaper or a Ghost would come and attack my base. But it's never once happened. I've never had anything attack my base except a tiger plant that I made the mistake of planting near my base, and then the tiger plant was shooting at me all the time and hitting my base, and then my base started flooding. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I guess tiger plants are not a thing. So besides that, my base has been fine the entire time. I've got a hull integrity. The structural integrity of the base is like 150 or something. Again, in preparation for what I thought was going to be an attack, that never happened. So I ran around and gathered plants for food. Originally, I was thinking, oh, hey, Chinese potato, that's cool. The lantern tree's cool. It's a constant supply of fruit as long as you don't overdo it. But then the bulbo tree and the marble melons are actually better. The bulbo tree, 3 bulbo trees, as far as I can tell, 3 bulbo trees will basically completely take care of your in-game needs for food and water. Just make sure that you don't over-harvest all of them at the same time. Only ever harvest one at a time. And then when you do the last harvest and you get the last seed and the bulbo tree disappears, well, instead of eating the last seed, plant the last seed and let it grow. And then move on to another bulbo seed, or a bulbo plant, tree. And by the time that one goes down, plant the last seed instead of eating it, and move on to your third one. And by the time you're done with this one, this bulbo tree will have regrown. So I've collected what I think are all of the plants in the game. I'm not 100% positive, but I've pretty sure I've got everything. I've got everything I've discovered anyway. And I built an aquarium. I was trying originally to breed the bladderfish, because to me the bladderfish are the most useful of everything. But I put in 2 bladderfish and waited days and days, and nothing ever happened. And I tried a 3rd bladderfish, and nothing happened. I tried 4. I even put 7 bladderfish in and was waiting for them to mate, and it never happened. So I guess the fish don't mate. So I pulled some out, and it's half bladderfish, half oculus. And I just put the oculus in because it's, from my point of view, it's the rarest fish in the game. So I went ahead and put those in. So I have food supply here, like basically emergency food. I mean, if it really comes down to it, I can eat this stuff, but I don't think I'm going to need to. The battery supply, power cell charger, medical kit supply. I mean, obviously I don't use it a lot, but there it is. I'm building up a supply anyway. So the 2 chargers. And then here's my alien containment where I'm hatching eggs. I've got a gasopod. So the mesmer outside I hatched in here. I've got a rabbit ray, a jelly ray, mesmer, amp eel. Forget what that thing's called. A gasopod, crab squid. There's an oculus. A sand shark. A spadefish, crashfish. Stalker. Oh, and a cuttlefish. I found 2 cuttlefish so far. There's one in here, and then there's one just outside here, outside the base. And the alien containment is 3 stories tall, but as far as I can tell, it only needs to be 2 stories. Like I tried it with 1 story, and I planted this thing here, and it only grew this tall, and it never popped seeds. And so I built a 2nd story, and it grew up to there, but it still didn't pop seeds. And so I put a 3rd story on, but it has never grown past 2 stories tall. So I don't know, it's not popping seeds. And then I planted some acid mushrooms and some other stuff for decoration. Item deleter, also known as a trash can, but like if I over-harvest something and I just want to get rid of it, throw it in the item deleter. There's my water supply from the water purifier. Building up more. And more posters that I've found, exploring the wrecks and such. And then this is my moon pool, where I keep all of my supplies. So like this is my wall of titanium here. All of these are full of titanium out to here. Never know when you're going to need titanium. And then this is like if I have a bunch of extra stuff and don't know what to do with it, then I just have a dump locker here. I got 2 extra titanium. And these floaters, I carried around those floaters for forever, trying to figure out what to use them for, and as far as I know, they can't be used for anything. So I have them here, and they're just kind of hanging out there. I don't know what to do with them. And then this is all alphabetized here. The only thing that I don't have one entire locker for is the bioharvest stuff, like plants or coral samples or whatever and a giant ball of poop that I find. I don't feel like there's any reason to have an entire locker filled with poop, so I just put one in here. I guess at some point in the game it might be used for some, maybe I'll need it for something, I don't know. But the whole maybe I'll use it but I don't know, I put in here and just save some of. I know the stalker tooth you can use for enameled glass, but I'm suspicious that you'll use it for something else. But copper, diamonds, gel sat gold, lead, lithium, magnetite. I'm getting low on magnetite. Nickel's full, quartz, ruby. This one is empty because originally I only went out to right there. No. Originally I went out to here because I wasn't collecting salt anymore. And then I figured out, oh, well, late in the game, you actually do need salt for something again. I hadn't used salt for forever, and I'm 100 hours into the game. And then suddenly I need salt again. Oh, okay, so I built a locker for salt, which put me out to there, and I figured, well, whatever, I'll just fill it out. And so I put another locker there. Uraninite, I don't think I have ever once used uraninite for anything at all. I maybe have used one for something that I crafted, but as far as I remember, at least, I've never once used it. So yeah, I put that in, and then I had one extra one, and I don't know what to do with it. So it's just question mark empty. Sulfur, there's the 2 kinds of sulfur, but I put them both in one. And then over here I've got basic materials, advanced materials, electronics, basic electronics, various electronic pieces, small tools, just 1 square tools, and 1 kitty poster that I mean I've already got a kitty poster there and a kitty poster in my office, so. And then the 4 square tools, if they take up 4 pieces. Alien artifacts. Not sure what to do with them, but they're extremely rare. They're not farmable at all, as far as I know. If there is a way to farm them, I haven't discovered it yet. So I haven't gotten rid of them. There they are. I have discovered how to create a purple tablet, but there aren't any other places to use a purple tablet, so these are just the weird alien artifacts. And then vehicular upgrades go right here. Which reminds me, I was nickel, plasteel, and ruby. I was getting ready to... What was I going to do? Oh, depth module, that's right. Okay, so I was going to take... the prawn suit. I'm going to remove one of my... storage. I was for the longest time running the prawn suit with 4 storage things. But over time, I have discovered that the storage is a whole lot less important than survival. So I also was running 4 storage things in the mini sub, the Seamoth. But once again, I discovered that survival is a lot more important than storage space. So I ended up dropping the storage space and going for other stuff. So that's my entire base right there, and all my other 4 bases I've deconstructed down to a little plus-shaped intersection with a hatch on it. And then inside those and I have them powered still via thermal vents, and then beaming energy from the thermal vents. To me, that's the best way of powering them. And then those bases, they all have just the little plus-shaped intersection part with a hatch on it, and then a couple of lockers inside, lockers and a fabricator, and then some bulbo tree plants. So if I'm like starving to death or something, I can stop at one of my previous bases and just eat something. But that's all it is, and there's really no reason to hang out there. So I have taken my Cyclops down here. I hear one of those warper guys. Irritating. Like, they're not dangerous at all. Oh, yeah, there he is. Get out of here. Go away. Yeah. They're just a nuisance. So I've set up external planters and put, like, basically little lighthouses to light my way down there. And then I took my Cyclops down there, which it took me 3 days of in-game time to make the trip, because it was so tight. I had to go so slow the entire way. I had to stop 3 times and return to base to eat and drink. So yeah, now I follow these little lighthouses here. I took external grow beds and planted the creep vines in them. And there's another warper. And so these go down to a place down here that I've discovered. So there's a seabase right there, an old seabase right there. As far as I know, I've found everything that's to be found in there. There's another warper. So I just found this area down here, which is way, way down, and I've been setting up. There's another warper. They don't follow you in here, though. Like, this is the limit right about here. Okay. He's gonna do that then. Come here. I got something for you. Yeah. Oh, is that so? Yeah, I thought so. Alright. They won't follow you once you're down here. Like that's the edge right there of their territory, and they won't touch you once you're past that. So I have some more of these lighthouses set up here. There's another one down there. And just follow the lighthouses. Now this green stuff down here is some kind of an acid. There's those animals there are not threatening at all. They're not aggressive. So this green stuff is some kind of an acid, and you can go down here in the prawn suit, and these things apparently are totally unaffected by it. You can go down here in the prawn suit, but nothing else can survive. Like if you were to swim down here, you would actually take damage, a lot of damage really fast. But the prawn suit can just kind of walk around in here, and it's like, not a big deal. But luckily the acid is the lowest layer here. And there's lots of these, what I assume are like Reaper Leviathan skeletons here. So, ruby. I'll go ahead and harvest that thing. Give me the ruby. There's another one. Try and get over here. Can't quite get it. Okay, so this cave here, it splits in half. And I come from back there, like you can see where the base is, and there's my lantern there, my lighthouse. Now you can go that way, and there's like a skeleton, a gigantic skeleton of a leviathan of some kind or another. Maybe Reaper, maybe not, I don't know. And then here's, so I just discovered this place, and then here's what I've built. So that's the final lighthouse here so far. And then I just built a scanner room that I'm beaming power to, and then I've parked my submarine, the Cyclops submarine over here. And then one of these rays is infected. In one of my previous... Let's see if I can line up properly here. Come on. In one of my previous bases, I had... Thought I turned off the lights in here. So that thing right there is a ghost leviathan. And I haven't gone any further than where I am right now, just because I'm not entirely certain what to do. But that's a ghost leviathan right there, and then there's another skeleton right there, and then you can see a skull right there. And the ghost leviathan hasn't come out here to where I am, so I think this might be like the border of its patrol area right here, where it opens up into this giant cavern. But I was coming back with some power cells to switch out. That one. I'll go ahead and switch out that one. And then I'll go ahead and turn this on so that you can see what's going on here. 199, so 57. We'll switch that one out for the 83% one. So ghost leviathans don't like light, so that's why I have the lights off here. Best I can tell, ghost leviathans hunt by sight, and Reaper leviathans hunt by sound, because I've been right up in a Reaper leviathan's face and it's done absolutely nothing, but then it does its roar thing and it turns straight at me and it comes at me. So I think Reapers hunt by sound and ghosts hunt by sight. And if I keep the lights off, it doesn't seem to bother the ghost leviathan. So I'm at full health. Energy is pretty good. And then upgrades, I have the depth module, the Seamoth repair module. So when the Seamoth is docked, it'll repair the Seamoth, but it doesn't repair the prawn suit. Don't know why. Battery efficiency makes the batteries last 3 times as long, and then a fire suppression system. Now the thing that I really am unimpressed with in the Cyclops is how quickly fires start. It's really pretty stupid. If you turn it up to flank speed, I turned it up to flank speed once and went for like 5 seconds. And then I had alarms blaring all through the submarine, and it was saying, oh, well, there's a fire. So I shut down the engine, grabbed the fire extinguisher, mounted right there on the wall, ran back here and put out all the fires. Like 5 seconds at flank speed, and it caught fire. So I guess that's really the developer's way of forcing you to blow one of your upgrades here on a automatic fire suppression system. I've never done flank speed since then, so I don't even know how the fire suppression thing works. I've never had to use it. I don't know if it's automatic or what the deal is. But there it is. That's just kind of... I don't know why they did that. That seems pretty silly for anything to catch fire after 5 seconds of use. But those are the upgrades. Dog's barking. Those are the upgrades, and there's room for 2 more. The sea moth and the prawn suit only have 4 upgrades. This has room for 6. So, and you have to fabricate the upgrades here. It's like you can't fabricate anything at your base. You have to come down to the Cyclops. So I have the depth module Mark 1, which I can upgrade at the base to Mark 2 and Mark 3. Oh, I have a Mark 2 installed, I think. There's 2 lines. Mark 1 only has 1 line. The one that has 3 lines, the depth module Mark 3, requires something that I haven't even found yet. I don't know where it is. Have no idea. But I have the engine efficiency module. I haven't done a shield generator yet. I could. Like, I have polyalanine advanced wiring. I could do that, but I haven't yet needed it. The sonar... I use the sonar a lot on the sea moth. I use it a ton on the sea moth, but I haven't used it nearly that much on the Cyclops. I mostly just use the periscopes, and that got me through that whole super tight trench using the periscopes. I think those were actually more handy than the sonar would have been. And then I haven't needed to use tubes. Thermal, so kyanite, there's the thing that I haven't found yet. I don't even know where kyanite is. I've never seen it in the game yet, so whatever. And nothing's ever attacked the Cyclops, not yet anyway, so I haven't needed a decoy anything. I may in the future. I've got space for 2 more upgrades, so I maybe will do a shield generator and a decoy tube upgrade, I guess. I don't know. We'll see, though. What I did discover is that you can build things in the Cyclops submarine as if it's your base. So, here we go. There's my my food supply there, my renewable food source. So I'll come over here to the bulbo tree, because you can see my water and food are both getting low. Make sure that after you eat the last one, or after you kill the tree, make sure that the last one that you get out of it, the last one you harvest out of it, make sure that it is that you plant it, you don't eat it, because you can replant it and it'll grow back in a couple of days. I only have 1, but I've got marble melons filling in, and I don't think I have any titanium on me. No, I just need to go run back and recharge those power cells. But I think I'll leave the prawn suit here. I'm not sure. Oh, that's the prawn suit storage. Okay. And then the prawn suit upgrades. Oh, you can access those from here. Okay. I actually didn't know that, but hey, good to know. Normally you have to walk up to the prawn suit. So we'll actually, I'll just go ahead and leave this stuff here and swim on back. Where's my hatch? Right there. Alright, let's go. Hey, I had this thing out. So my scanner room here.
Welcome aboard,
I was telling you this. Oh, well, there's a graphical anomaly. So I have the scanner room set for maximum range. All 4 of those are range increasers. And so this here is that other room that I was telling you about, where there's like a giant skull right here. Oh, this is interesting. You can actually go up from that room up into this section here. I didn't realize that. I'll have to go check that out. But so we're here right now. We're right about here. Those are my 3 camera drones, and I'm right about here. So the submarine is like right here, and then this scanner room is right here. So I'm going to swim back and follow all of my lighthouses back over here, and then up and around there. I'll just follow the lighthouses and they'll take me home. Go from one to the next to the next. I've got one right there, but it's not so visible, but I can see this one from where I am. And don't follow the laser beam, because the laser beam is going to the hydrothermal vents. I follow the lighthouses. And then right there is the border. I just passed the border to warper territory. So, yep, there's a warper right there. He's gonna get all pissy because I'm in his territory. The warpers really, they're more of a nuisance than anything else. They get pissy at you if you're anywhere near them, and they warp you out of your vehicle, which is not in and of itself dangerous. Like, once you've got the high capacity, the ultra high capacity tank, and the deep sea diving mask, the rebreather, once you've got both of those, you just swim back to your sea moth and climb back in. Or if they warp you out of your prawn, you just swim on back and get back in, and it's not even a big deal. It's just a nuisance. Oh, there's another one. All it is a nuisance. They're really not that dangerous. And you can chase them away fairly easily.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
By going after your, pulling out your knife and taking a swing at them. They don't stick around and fight much at all. Every time I come back into my base, I go and hit the water filtration thing again, because it only has space for 4. So it won't just keep generating more and more and more and more. It'll generate 2 salt, 2 water, and then it'll stop until you go there and empty it out. And so here's my overflow. I'll go ahead and dump those there. The Cyclops power cells, I forgot to plug those in. I'll come back over here and plug those in, get those charging. I mean, they weren't down all that far anyway. Cyclops can go a long ways on what it's got. Actually, I'll go ahead and use this one. So yeah, that's where I am. I mean, I haven't gotten a radio signal in forever. Where's the last radio signal I got? There, that was the last radio signal I got, and so this was when I very first discovered the acid place. I got this thing that was some kind of motivational note. Crash landed in the acid swamps, fought off arachnid kidney poachers. If he can do all that, you can survive one more day. Okay, well, whatever. On day 219, I got this thing. No clue what it is. But some kind of a radio signal of alien origin, I guess. And this is nothing, apparently. There, day 153. So what was this? This one was day 219. So like 70 days before 219, I caught this radio thing. 11783 destroyed. Mode body patrol. New targets unaccounted for 1. Presumably me, but nothing has ever come after me. Ever. So I don't know what the deal is there. And before that... There, I got, on day 135, Chief Technical Officer U in Life Pod 2. Apparently, she survived 135 days after landing. I don't know what she was doing for 135 days, because I never saw her. Oh, this was, yeah, they were talking about, we've uploaded blueprints to the ship's computer. You're going to have to meet us halfway. Captain's quarters 2679. I guess I'll have to return to the ship at some point and go to the captain's quarters. I'm not sure where that is. Now, this was interesting. I thought I was hallucinating here in the game because at one point I accidentally scanned myself with the scanner, did a self-scan, didn't mean to, but I did a self-scan and it said you're infected. Okay. And then I've noticed a bunch of fish. Occasionally I'm finding fish with little green splotches on them, and I don't have green splotches on me, not yet, but I'm guessing it's the same infection. Because there is a point in the game where you're trying to do something and it says, yeah, you can't do it because you're infected. So I don't know what the deal is with the infection, but I was thinking that maybe I was hallucinating because I was sick, but I hallucinated like this thing kind of went over the screen and it was a little bit hazy, and it was this funky alien creature thing that said, "What are you?" in a really slow, whispery voice. And then it was gone. So...
What are you?
Yeah, maybe female, feminine voice anyway. Could be just a dude, I don't know. Or it might be asexual. As far as I can tell, nothing here has male or female types. They're all just one, like genderless. There are eggs all over the place, so I don't know where the eggs come from. But yeah, whatever. So that was day 93, and then I've seen absolutely nothing about that since then, except this thing right here, which I don't know if this is human or alien, but I can only guess that it's something that's radioing back to base saying it's on patrol, new targets unaccounted for 1. I guess me, because I'm the lone survivor, but again, nothing's been hunting me. And then this right here has parts that are alien, just like this, but the entire thing is alien, and it says nothing. Like, there's nothing translated, so... I don't know. But yeah, I mean, nothing has attacked me or anything, so I don't know. I don't know. So that's where I am, and I'll continue exploring, looking around. I'm 100 hours into the game, and I have survived for 200 and something, like 230 plus days. I don't know what day today is. I'm not sure there's a way to tell what day today is. Like, there's no in-game, I don't know, calendar or whatever. My power is not going up here. I don't even have anything plugged in, and it's not going up. It's staying the same. Might have to go build another thermal reactor and dump it next to a hydrothermal vent. My one picture frame I was experimenting with, I couldn't figure out what kind of a picture to put on it. I don't know. So I just went and took a picture of the wall of plants, and then it's a picture frame with a picture of the wall of plants from the other room. That's it. So, yeah, that's where things are now. Life is good. Still continuing to explore. Still finding new things. The latest thing that I found, I think, was this water purification machine, which just dumped a salt. That was the latest thing that I discovered, and couldn't for the life of me figure out where to build it. Figured out, oh, you have to build it in one of these multi-purpose rooms, and it has to be up against a wall, and it takes just a massive amount of power for the thing to run. But it's a non-stop supply of food, or not food, but water, so and I've got another salt that I can add to this one right here. So I'll keep you updated if I discover anything fun past that ghost leviathan in that big chamber with the giant skull there down in the acid area. But I'm still steadfastly refusing to go hunt up walkthroughs or anything. I mean, I'm sure that with 100 hours played, I'm sure there are people who have finished the game already. They completely beat it and they're all done. Good for them. That's not me. That's not how I do these things. My son, who also is playing the game, likes to do that. He likes to know exactly what's going on and follow a walkthrough that tells him exactly what to do, when and where and why and how to do it. And that's really not my thing at all. Because to me that's not playing the game. That's the game playing you. Like, the whole point of this game is to explore and to have fun and discover. It's a whole world that they built here. And I intend to do that. I intend to just explore the area, have fun, take my time, because I'm not in a rush for the game to end. I'm not here to try to finish it as fast as possible. So yeah, that's where things are at Subnautica. That's the 100-hour update. This game has really turned out to be a fantastic experience. It's definitely in my top 10 games of all time. Obviously, because I've played over 100 hours, and there might be 5 games in my life that I've played 100 hours on. There are 100 games that I've played less than 1 hour, because I play the game for, half an hour or something, and I'm like, this game is just a waste of my time and energy. I got better things to do, like wash my hair. And so I stop and then walk away, and I'm not afraid of doing that. Some games are just bad. It's just really bad. But that's 100 hours in Subnautica, and I'll keep you updated if anything major and massive happens.